They say have your biggest meal, which is the breakfast, have it properly. That's how you stay fit, you stay energetic, and it takes you through all over the day. So that's how the champions they take feedback, because feedback is very important for them to keep progressing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. So why do we need evolution? Can anyone tell?
To improve,
Yes.
find the scope of it.
Yes. So is it only a Toastmaster specific thing, or it can be used across other walks of
It can be
life?
used across all the fields.
Yes. So of course, the speaker who comes here, he or she wants evaluation from the audience or from the evaluator, that how he or she has done, where he or she has to improve. In your organization, whether you're working in a corporate setup or somewhere else, if your co-worker or your boss or your subordinate is doing a presentation, they would come back and ask you, hey, how was my presentation? And at that time, you just can't say, oh, it was good, and oh, you can't have that fluffy stuff. Or you can say, oh, it was very bad, and you don't like to feel very kind of critical. So that's where the evaluation technique comes, that you have to give a balanced opinion about where your coworker was great, where he or she needs to improve. Again, if you have a team, you have a team members, and you are having that graded performance evaluation discussion. So you just can't say, so normally what happens, the boss, you sit on at the end of the year, and your boss, and you always feel that he always keeps telling me that I need to work on this, don't work on this, work on this, but he never appreciated what good I have done. So that's where you have to do balanced evaluation. So you have to tell your employee that you was good in these things, and it's where I need you to develop, want you to improve. And the last one is in social gatherings. You are in a business seminar, you are in a wedding function or somewhere. Somebody comes and asks your opinion or thoughts on some event or some other things. And then again you have to give your balanced opinion on that. So we all know that evaluation is very important. Now who gets benefited out of the evaluation? In Toastmaster setup, of course, the speaker, because he or she learns what he or she is doing great and where he or she needs to improve. But who else gets benefited?
In other fields, the evaluator also get benefited because they do not make themselves bad in front of the people who are asking for the evaluation.
Yeah, you're right. So you as an evaluator. So the evaluator also comes to the stage. It's also for him a speech practice, because the more you come on the stage, more you learn, more the stage fright goes away. And the audience. Yes. So audience also learn by observing what were the comments evaluator has given to the speaker, and they also try to incorporate those learnings in their next speeches. Now when you are doing evaluation, what skills you are building? Can anyone tell?
Critical thinking. Critical thinking.
Yes.
Observation,
Listening skills.
Yes.
attention to detail. Expressing, you will be more expressive.
Yeah. So first is the listening skills. So when you are sitting here and evaluating a speaker's speech, you are all ears to him or her. You have your full attention paying to the speaker, and that's very critical. So not only here, when you are sitting in some meeting in an organization or in your corporate role, when you have undivided attention to the speaker, you grasp more. Next is critical thinking. Someone told me critical thinking, of course, because now you are trying to analyze or understand what was the underlying message in the speech, what the speaker wanted to say. Next is analytical. You try to find out where speaker has gone good, where speaker needs to improve. So you are analyze, and finally impromptu speaking. So after that, you are called on the stage and share your evaluation or feedback. And that's where you have to build up your speech. You have to speak for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's not a job. So you have to collect all your thoughts. You have to come here and express those thoughts so that it sounds proper. Okay, so we all understand the importance of evaluation, isn't it?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, let's go. So preparing for the evaluation. So even taking evaluation is a big responsibility. You just don't walk into the meeting and say, oh, I want to take an evaluation. Whenever there is a speaker is slotted to speak, an evaluator is assigned to him or her. So what are your duties when you take up as role of evaluator? Can anyone tell? Any experienced Toastmasters?
Talk to the speaker first.
Yes, exactly. So what are you going to talk to the speaker?
Take his speech, objective, title.
Yeah.
Any specific skill that he or she will want to assess.
What is the goal of the speaker?
Oh, okay. You are making my work very easy. You know everything. That's great. Yeah. So reach out to the speaker. Ask for the project manual. What project he or she is doing. So the Pathways has, I think, more than 100 projects. So you need to understand what project he or she is doing. Is he delivering a motivating speech? Is he telling a story? Or is he talking about his communication style? So you need to understand what is the objective behind his or her speech. Second, get the evaluation sheet on what parameters you are going to evaluate him or her. If you don't know what you are going to observe. And finally, specific improvements. So other than the parameters and objectives in the evaluation sheet, the speaker might also want to get feedback on certain things. So for example, a speaker wants to improve his or her vocal variety. So he would say his evaluator, hey, in addition to these evaluation parameters, please give me feedback on my vocal variety because I am working on that. Or hand gestures, or maybe humor, or audience engagement, anything. So whenever you are assigned a role of evaluator, make sure you have all these things with you so that you can deliver an effective evaluation. Now you are all set to come to the meeting and hear the speech. When you are listening the speech, when the speaker is delivering the speech, what you should do? First, observe the speaker. How speaker is delivering the speech. What words he is saying. So pay attention to whatever speaker is doing. Take notes because you can't keep everything in your mind. You have some reference points. So take notes and show interest to the speaker. It's not like that you are busy writing notes, and speaker is thinking that, oh, he is not paying attention to me, I can do anything. Okay? So this is during the speech. You have to be very attentive. Now once the speech is over, you have to collect your thoughts. So these are some templates which I downloaded from internet. There's a site called 6minutes.delugan.com. You can also visit. It's a great website for all Toastmasters speaking resources. So it has articles on how to deliver your speeches, how to deliver evaluations, how to tackle table topics. So you can visit there and gather a lot of information. So these are some templates. which you can use, or you can build your own template. Yes.
What was the name of the website?
6minutes.delugan.com. Yeah. I can share it with you, or maybe on the website you can share. So here you can see there is one template. On the left side, there are the areas which you are evaluating. So it is like impact, vocal variety, opening, body, closure, impact, and then there are two other columns, strengths and improvement areas. But this is a little advanced template. If you want to start with a simpler template, you can go that you can divide a paper into two sections, content and delivery, and note down your observe. I felt, I saw, I heard. Or even simpler, take a sheet of paper, divide into three sections, write down your commendations, the positive points, and the development areas, and end with the commendations. So it's kind of a trial and error method. You develop your own template, and whichever you find that it's more flexible, more easier for you, adopt that template. And I think that with the perseverance, you will develop your own template which works best for you. So once the speech is over, what all you need to do? Collect your thoughts. So whatever notes you have scribbled down on your paper, you have to put into a meaningful evaluation. It's not like that you go on the stage and that say, speaker was, opening was good, and speaker was moving here, stage movement was good and everything. You have to collect and give it a shape of a proper speech. Just remember that evaluation speech is also a speech. And just like what we emphasize on a normal speech, that we should have a proper opening, body, closure with vocal variety. Same thing goes for the evaluation speech also. Now I have observed that many people who come for evaluation, they keep telling either they keep keep going on and give 5-6 commendations, 5-6 recommendations. That's too much for a speaker. So it's better to prioritize what commendation or recommendation you want to see in the speaker for the next speech. So there might be n number of points you want to tell, but you have limited time, and also the grasping power of the speaker is also limited. You have to give him or her quick actions which he or she can improve upon immediately. So if you see that a new speaker has come who is delivering an icebreaker, so you can't just say that advanced thing like you need to work on your vocal variety. For the starter, maybe the new speaker, I saw the tendency that they are generally little nervous, they have their hands clasped, they don't open their hands. So you can start with them, with those suggestions that keep your hands free, open your hand gestures. So maybe start with small for a new speaker. But if there is an advanced speaker, you can definitely give him or her the recommendation that you need to work on your vocal variety. Any questions so far?
No.
Are you all with me?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, you prepare your opening and summary. As I mentioned you earlier, evaluation speech is also a speech. So think of creating a unique opening, some interesting opening to grab the audience attention, and don't forget to summarize so that all the audience and speaker have the recall value of what was said. Okay. Now you have been called on the stage by the general evaluator to deliver your speech. What are you going to do? What techniques you are going to use? So first, as I mentioned, try to be creative. The most important thing for a creativity is impactful opening. Don't just go on the stage and say, it was a great speech, it was a good speech, or it was a nice speech. Bring some energy. Maybe you can use a quote from a famous personality which is related to that speech, or some, say, idiom or something, or even some song. For example, in one of the evaluation contests which I was evaluating, the speaker spoke about forgiving and moving on. So it just reminded me the movie Frozen and the song. So I started with the song, let it go, let it go. So that impact it has brought was enormous. So not necessarily song, but you can use whatever you are comfortable with. Create acronyms. So when you are delivering your speech evaluation, maybe whatever points you want to say, maybe you can think of some acronym. So for example, if I had on stage, I would say, with your speech, you brought a lot of spice. Spice. So S is like it was a great story. S is a story. P, presentation was superb. I, it was interactive, like with your interaction with the audience. C, conclusion. The conclusion was great. And E, entertaining. So similarly, you can form your own acronyms and use it while delivering your speech. So what happens that when the speaker goes home, he remembers spice. The evaluator told me about spice. So the acronyms are generally easier to remember than the bigger text. Use analogy or metaphors. So maybe you can just think about any analogy. If the speech is about some food, you can say, oh, you cooked us a nice, tasty, delicious dish. The raw material, the dough was great, fresh, it sounded fresh. And whatever the puddings you put on the cake, so it was very presentable. So similarly, if you use, so that becomes good to hear, like it's like music to your ears. Your speech was music to ears. This is another analogy. Similar thing, you try to be more creative while delivering your speech. And of course, good vocabulary. So you have to use some innovative words. Instead of using great, awesome, you may say you are exuberant on the stage. You are kind of ebullient. You have to find alternate words. It's just simply saying very good, very nice, very great. So that's how you grow on your vocabulary.